It was way more than a $2 holler. Stole your heart like Alibaba.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the A&J Soccer Show. As always, it's me, Andrew, and to my right,
Jalen.
And we have a pretty chill episode for you guys today. So we made a fantastic video about City winning the Premier League. Had some trouble with uploading that one, so we're going to try to link that to a Vimeo account in the description. So go ahead and check that video out because we put a lot of work into it, and I think you'll enjoy it. But today, we're going to talk about the Champions League and also preview the Europa League, which is going to happen tomorrow. So I guess, getting into it, Roma 2, Liverpool 5. What did you think about that game?
That was pretty crazy. I don't know. I didn't expect there to be so many goals, first of all.
Yeah.
But I guess I knew there was going to be at least one Liverpool goal because Mo Salah is just insane. So I knew he was going to grab at least one, but I mean, to get 2 goals and 2 assists, like, the man was going off. Looked like he was in full confidence, full Messi mode. You can start seeing the similarities between, like, the way that they run and, like, their short and little legs. And, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, dude, I totally get it. And, like, Salah, he is what a player. Like, I would say he's the best in the world right now, honestly. I think he's better than Messi. Like, right now, like, today, I think he's better than Messi. Better than Ronaldo. Obviously, like, don't get that wrong. I'm not saying he's on the same level overall because he would have to do it for like 5, 6, 7 years. But I think right now he's the best in the world. And you're right, he just went riot on Roma. And I think he was on for like 75 minutes. But it's funny, when they took him off, it was 5-0, and then Roma scored 2 when they took him off. And he's not even a defender. So I think like that mentality of having Salah on
Well, sometimes the best defenses
it's fair.
Attack. Best defense is offense. So the fact that there was a threat on the field, you could definitely tell it was a momentum switch. As soon as he came off, Roma started getting ground and through the PK and the other goal. It just kind of like turned everything on its head. Mm-hmm. But I think it's interesting to point out like Mane's performance. So in the first half, he missed like three big like major chances, and Liverpool like didn't get discouraged at all by like him missing those chances. They just kept going, and then. So that first goal,
the curler.
I can't decide which one was better, his first or his second goal. The finesse shot from outside the 18, or the little dink over the goalkeeper.
I mean, this guy just cannot miss. He cannot miss ever. Earlier in the season we were lauding about the City players, but we have to be fair. Like, this guy is right up there, if not.
Yeah, he's the real deal.
He's insane. I think. So although it's 5-2, I don't think this is over because going to Anfield is really hard. Going to Roma is absolutely it's like walking into hell, especially for like this Champions League semifinal. Those Roma fans are absolutely like, you could call it, they're passionate, but they're also very like aggressive and crazy. So there's going to be so many flares going. I think the Liverpool players will be pretty shook when they get there. And I think if Roma scores in the first 10 minutes, they can do to Liverpool what they did to Barcelona. Do you think so?
See, it's hard because I'm thinking, like, it's not going to... Like, they have, like, the 2 away goals, but, like, Liverpool's guaranteed at least
they're gonna
one
score
goal.
One. They're going to score
Mo.
one. Yeah.
So you kind of just, like, with that, like, assumed fact that they're going to score at least one goal, you got to, like... trying to make up for the away goal in the aggregate, and that's always like a complicated thing and trying to calculate that in your head. But no, I think Liverpool has this one pretty safely. But I would say if Roma would have grabbed one more, 5-3, I think is a whole different game than 5-2. So if 5-3 maybe, but no, I think Liverpool has this one in the bag for sure.
5-2. Yeah, I mean, like I think that's a fair point. I know all of my Liverpool fan friends are just like very nervous still because they would have rather seen 5-0 and had the tie over. But I don't know. I think I really want to believe that Roma's still in it. I think it could be an amazing comeback. Obviously, Liverpool's favored right now, but I mean, who's to say what could happen? But moving into it, the other Champions League game was Bayern and Real, and that happened today. It was at the Allianz Arena, and so Kimmich scores early, and then Real scores twice. Real up 2-1. is it Real's year again? You think they're just going to keep going by Bayern and make it all the way to the final and win? Like, what do you think about that?
I was so happy when Bayern scored first.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they only scored in like 20 seconds in the game. Lewandowski had a pretty good chance. I thought he got fouled, personally, from behind.
I didn't see it. I didn't see the game.
He got, like, pushed after he crossed the ball, and then Muller wasn't able to tap it in.
Yeah.
But I was really hopeful that Bayern would come through.
Yeah.
Because, like, I've openly said I don't want Real to win for a third year in a row. That would just be ridiculous.
Oh, my God.
But, I mean, knowing Real Madrid, they're going to be going home. I wouldn't say it's done. No, I think Bayern can definitely grab an away goal and make things interesting. But, that matchup is really hard to tell.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm a little bit partial towards Bayern as well. Because, I mean, like, I've got family over in Munich who are diehard Bayern fans, and, like, I've always talked to them about it. But also for the same reason as you, I'm just tired of seeing Real Madrid win the Champions League for the past 2 years, and I don't want to make it 3. I would be put in a really tough spot, though, if it was Liverpool, Real in the final. Because we were talking about this earlier in the week. It's like, okay, so as City fans, if we lose to the say Liverpool wins, like we lost to the champions. But also, like, I'm mad at Liverpool for knocking us out.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But I think the worst final for me would be Liverpool-Real Madrid because I would want both teams to lose.
I would definitely, but that's the thing, because I think Liverpool has a good chance against Bayern.
Okay.
Because I think Real Madrid's attack is just too much for Liverpool's defense to handle.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that Bayern has a bad attack at all. Like, they equally have, like, not equally, but they have also very strong attack, but nowhere near, I feel like, as dangerous as Ronaldo. Just having him on your team is going to cause you some problems.
Goal machine,
I think Liverpool has their best chance against Bayern, and that's why I want to see Bayern go through to face Liverpool in the final. I think that'd be a really good matchup. But if, especially if Roma ends up winning it, if they end up coming back against Liverpool and then facing Real in the final, I just don't think there's a chance.
No chance of Roma getting,
Yeah, I just don't think it's possible, honestly.
Yeah, Roma really does well at home. You're right. Like, they have to have their entire, like, stadium behind them for them to do well. So, yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. So, I don't know if we made predictions, but I would say for this one, as much as I don't want it, I don't see Bayern going to the Bernabeu and overcoming that 2-1 loss today. So I think Real's going to go through, but it wouldn't be the biggest shock in the world if Bayern went through. I don't know. Was that what you thought?
I feel like Bayern could...
You think so?
1-0. I think that could be the result, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So would that... They go through?
No, I don't think so. No, because Real... Yeah, they would have to get 2. They'd have to get 2.
Yeah. 2, that kind of changes. I don't know. I can see them winning 1-0, but 2-0 is, like, possible, but, like, highly unlikely, in my opinion. I think it's already for me to say that Real Madrid is not going to score is kind of a stretch, but to say that Bayern scores 2 without them scoring is kind of hard. So oh well, I guess that means Real's going to go through.
I guess it's Real again. I mean, hopefully they've had an awful domestic year. If they win the Champions League again, I mean, I just will be so mad. But we'll stay tuned. We'll see what happens. But moving on from the Champions League, the Europa League actually has a really exciting semifinal. Before we get to that one, we'll just say Marseille and Salzburg are playing in one semifinal, and I don't know anything about it. I don't think you do either.
Not really, no.
I know Payet's on Marseille, and that's about it.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Marseille.
Yeah, tight.
Got feeling there.
Just to be different, I'll go with Salzburg because I have no idea about it. Anyway, the more exciting semifinal in the Europa League are 2 traditional Champions League teams in Arsenal and Atletico. And this has all types of, stories behind it because in this one, so Arsene Wenger, we didn't even talk about this. Arsene Wenger stepping down.
Yeah, that's huge.
I totally forgot we didn't talk about that. Anyway, that's really huge. We'd have to devote 10 minutes of another episode to it, so we'll get there maybe sometime. But Arsene Wenger, the manager of Arsenal, is stepping down, and a potential replacement is Simeone, who is Atletico's manager.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
They've been talking about that?
Yeah, they've been saying he might come in. So, I mean, that backstory behind this is crazy. This game is going to be at the Emirates. I think Atletico has too much, but because it's Wenger's last season, after 22 years at Arsenal, I think Arsenal is going to get behind him and make it through this tie over 2 legs, which is pretty tough. But
I don't fully understand the concept of yeah, Wenger stepping down, but does that do you think that affects the players' motivation to play? Why? Because I've heard multiple people come up to me now that Wenger's stepping down, we're definitely gonna win the Europa League. I was like, but why is that guaranteed all of a sudden? Is it just because his legacy? Then the players are gonna play extra hard all of a sudden now, and that's gonna get them a result. I don't know. What do you think? Why do you say that?
It's just it's kind of. I feel like they owe it to him, and I feel like he deserves to be sent off with a win. And not this has been a bad season. They're almost behind Burnley in the Premier League, and I think the players, no matter how pro or anti-Arsenal they are just gonna really, really do their best to give him the send off he deserves, because he totally changed that club. I mean, 22 years. The first 10 years of that tenure, he was the best manager in the world. Unbelievable. Last 12 years have been a little bit, not too great. But he is a club legend, and that's why I think that him stepping down is really going to motivate those players to go through. I see the argument against it, especially against a strong Atletico side, but I just think the emotion is going to be too much. I think at the Emirates is where the tie is going to be won or lost, because Arsenal is going to lose at Atletico, but I think if they can get 4 or 5 at home, then I think it's over.
That's interesting. I don't know. I still think Arsenal is consistent enough to for me to have that faith that they're going to show up for Arsenal. If that's the logic we're going to do. I don't think they're consistent enough, especially coming off the loss against Newcastle. What was that last week or 2 weeks ago?
Could be,
It's just they're just too up and down, and yes, they've been pretty successful in this Europa League campaign so far. They've been consistent in this campaign, but I just don't have the faith, so I'm going to say Atletico takes this one.
Yeah, I think in terms of players on the pitch, you've got Aubameyang and Lacazette, who are forming a really, really good partnership, and Lacazette's really been catching fire lately. So I think that's where the goals are going to come from Arsenal if they get him. Obviously, on the other side, I think you've got Diego Costa and Griezmann, which is very, very formidable. But yeah, I mean, So Arsenal, Atleti, we'll let you know what happens, but we'll see. Anyway, like I said, it was a pretty chill episode today. Didn't have too much to cover, but we really want you guys to watch that the City Premier League video if we can. We put really a lot of work into it. Behind the scenes, we both do a bit of editing, but this guy's really the master behind it, so props to him. And we're going to try to link that for you guys. But anyway, thank you for watching this video today. We really appreciate all the support that we get. We've been doing this since October, and school year's almost over. I think next episode we'll give a little update on what things are going to look like with me going abroad and stuff like that. But
spoiler alert, Andrew's going abroad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's definitely going to be some issues to work out there. But in the meantime, if you guys enjoyed the episode, if you just subscribe, and check out the video on Vimeo, as Andrew was talking about earlier. But until then, we'll see you guys.
We can get away, maybe to Guatemala.